Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily Wednesday. It's Des here, just checking in to offer some midweek motivation. As you can see, I'm down by the River Trent. It's a little bit dark. There was a reason for that, but slight change of plan. Basically, I was going to sort of pass on some ideas on how to stay safe and active during the winter months whilst it's dark. And I was going to use the darkness for that reason. But I think there's a more important message I'd like to pass across today. I've mentioned a few times recently that Nottingham, where I'm based from, of course I'm stood right next to the world famous Trent Bridge. It's a bit dark that way though. Nottingham's facing tier 3 lockdown. It's really upsetting, concerning and worrying situation for lots of people. So whilst I don't normally like to talk about the negative side of things and the worry and the concern, today I think I really need to. I'd like to sort of almost pass on a few reminders of how we can tackle the situation, how we can keep moving forward, despite the worry and the concern. And I'll reiterate, there definitely is lots of that, even for myself. Someone who wants to be positive, someone who wants to tackle the situation head on, somebody who stands here day in, day out, trying to put a smile on my face, trying to pass on the right messages. I'm no expert, I'm just living this like everybody else, and I say it all the time, just want to be a safe space. But today I think really need to reiterate some points on how we can keep moving forward and drive on. I mention all the time about trying not to be too fluffy, trying not to sort of be too happy clappy, and today I thought, whilst everyone's suffering, whilst I can see people losing the shit a little bit around me, and it is happening, people in the do running community, as amazing as they can be at times, they're starting to lose that, they're starting to disconnect a little bit, also people around me, family, friends, people at work, just starting to sense that worry setting in, and like I say, it's leading them to sort of become a little bit rational, a little bit frustrated, and a little bit of ill feeling here and there, and that's not what we need, is it? What we need to do is to do the things that have really sort of driven us forward to this point. We've experienced this for 6 months now. I won't say we're experienced at it, because I wouldn't like to think that, but we've had to deal with it for a while now, and we've got to this point, and it's important to remember that we've got here. We're still here. Yes, unfortunately there's lots of real tough situations out there. People are getting affected in ways that is unimaginable for some of us, but again, that's the reason to remember that what we have got and what we can do is really important. And what I'm going to do is just talk about 3 sort of points I believe are important in getting us through, into carrying on all the good work, and getting us to a point where we can stay positive, stay active, stay safe. They're the things I've said from day one of this. They're the 3 key things, but I've got 3 points I'd like to make on how we can do that. And the first one being really is to remember what has worked to this point. Like I said there, we're getting experienced at it, but there's lots of positives. So what we need to do is just think what worked. Of course, through DOdaily and the Do Running community, I've been fortunate enough to offer up activities, what people have got involved in, what people have enjoyed. Of course, some take it on board more than others. Some got on board straight away, used it, and then stuck with it. Some got on board straight away, used it, and then lost a bit of interest. Probably think it worked for them and they don't need to do it anymore. That's dangerous. And then some, of course, didn't buy into it straight away, but then did get on board and continue to use it and realise it's important. It's part of what they do now. It's part of creating routines, it's part of staying positive. But it's really important to remember what worked. Like I said there, it can be really dangerous if you start switching off, particularly if it did work at some point. I've seen people get involved in some of these Wednesday workout challenges and really, really enjoy them. Get so much from it, go into short spells of great running, great cycling, really get involved in the group, really get involved in the conversation, and then all of a sudden they miss it for whatever reason. They don't do it, and then they don't feel part of it. You notice that they start feeling down and disconnected, and then refuse to get back involved in it. And I think, what's that about? Absolutely, what's that about? Just remember what worked and what didn't, but more importantly, what worked, what made a real positive impact on you. And of course, as somebody who drives activity, encourages people to get involved, activity is never bad. Getting out there, even if it's not part of the Do Running group, even if it's not part of what we do, getting out for some physical activity is always the perfect way to get yourself back into shape. A small example, I got up this morning, I was really positive about going for a scan on my injured groin, getting some sort of information about what it might or might not be. Come away from that and I was as frustrated as when I went in, and I started, even this morning, I started to sort of slump and get a bit moany about the situation and start complaining about everything that's going on, But one thing I've learned by doing this day in, day out is to sort of not let things get too low. Remember the things that get me out of it. So what I did, text a friend who kind of shares a lot of my opinions and values and likes to do some similar things. I text that friend to meet up, have a coffee, have a chat, and then straight away, just by talking about it, I've allowed myself not to get into too much of a slump. Then I've realised I've got to get out and do some activity, despite the fact I'm feeling sorry for myself with the injury. I've done lots of activity in the first couple of days, so I was actually going to rest today. And whilst I'm resting to some degree because I've took the pace off, just gone for a walk, just done 5k around the usual route, listened to some of the things I do, it's been really important to me. It's remembering what works for me. When I am struggling with the injury, when I am struggling with mood, if I'm struggling with motivation to run, just get out there for a walk, listen to the people I like listening to, take on that advice and just get out there. And that's really important, isn't it, to remember exactly what you can do. My next point on this issue, really, to remember how fortunate you really are, to get involved in activity, to get involved in a group session in the community we've got. Some people don't have that luxury. We all suffer. I've touched on it there, the roller coaster that we all go through. But imagine, for example, running. This is the group's formed around running, so it's a key thing. It's key to what we do. Imagine all those people that can't run. Whether it's coronavirus or not. For whatever reason. People who haven't got that ability. So it's important to remember that we can still do a lot. It's the things we can do, the things we're able to do, the things that our body allows us to do. Some people don't have those luxuries, and imagine how they feel at these situations. And it's not a competition. It's not about comparing what you can do to compared to someone else. But imagine waking up one day and realising that you could never go for a run. Right? This situation's not stopping that. This situation's encouraging it more than anything. So just focus on the things you can do, the things you can take forward, the things that work deep down. Yes, motivation might wane a little bit. Not being able to do what you want here and there in another sense might really get to you, might really affect you. You might have been struggling through personal issues and things like that, but we all know just getting out and getting some activity in makes so much of a difference. And remembering the fact that you can do it, is so important. Let's not dwell on what we can't do. I look a lot of the time and think, is it really that much of a loss? Is it that much of a big loss that we can't do some of those things? Flip the positive on it. Who likes going out in the dark? Who likes going out in the cold? But what about the amazing sunsets, and pictures I enjoy taking of of the leaves and of all those things. Yeah, some people might think that's a bit daft, but that's what I enjoy doing. So it's really, really important to remember, whilst you've got the ability to do something, don't waste it, because nothing's ever guaranteed in this world, as COVID is proving right now. So that's my point on that one. And my last point is basically not to worry about what people think. Do you know, the things we do here, do you know, some people might look in and go, oh, why are they doing that? Why are they taking part in that? Why is he doing that? Why is he saying that? I get it all the time. Do you know, to be honest, it's starting to become water off a duck's back. Do you know, it's, if you want to do something, if you feel you need motivation to do something, the only person that can change that is you. People can put you down, you can let that get to you, you can get affected by it, but that's not going to achieve anything. And ultimately, the only person that really wins is that person mocking what you do. Do you know, I'm going to be really honest now. I'll sit in a pub and drink with people, do you know, who don't like what I do on the video or feel uncomfortable with the video. That's absolutely up to them, but it doesn't stop me. Do you know, it doesn't stop me doing what I want to do, because this works for me. This gets me through the situation. Do you know, doing DOdaily day in, day out, going out for my run, getting up early, talking about it. I mentioned there, talking to my friend, really sort of pulled me out of a slump. Do you know, it'd be easy not to make that connection. It'd be easy just to go, oh no, I'm not going to get in touch with anyone, because they might not want to, they might turn me down, they might reject. Do you know what I mean? So what? As long as we're doing what we need to do, you know, as long as we're benefiting from the end result, it doesn't matter what people think. And what I'm finding right now, and the reason I mention this, is there's a lot of judgment going on. Do you know, there's a lot of people making sort of preconceptions about what others are doing, how they're tackling the situation, how they're behaving. And I've said it a million times, do you know, if we look after ourselves and not worry about what others are doing, do you know, they won't have to worry about us, we won't have to worry about them, but everybody will be doing the right thing. Everybody will be doing what works for them, do you know, and we'll get through it. We'll get to the end of this situation. And with those three things, I think we definitely will, do you know. Just keep pushing on, guys. I don't want to rant, I don't want to preach. That's the last thing I want to do. But I thought it was really important today to really pass that on, really sort of let my feelings known on that, and just to remind people that we can get through this just by remembering the things we've done, remembering that the things that we can do, and by not worrying about what people say. And if you remember that, you know, you'll get up tomorrow, you'll get out there for your activity, whatever you enjoy from DOdaily, from Do Running, from all the things still available to us despite this terrible situation. Of course, tomorrow it's the live Thursday thought session. Really looking forward to that. Really do, as I am right now, sort of saying the things I'm saying today. I get out my comfort zone, but I do it live. So if you can post up any questions about today, anything about what I've said, good, bad, indifferent, you know, anything about activity, COVID, you know, lockdowns, you know, anything, motivation, I'll answer anything you ask, of course, within reason. And also that throwback question, when was you pleasantly surprised? Love to get some feedback on that. One of the things I've already noticed this week is got a great response last week. You know, people involved, people answering the questions, people asking questions. Been a bit slim on that this week. And again, it's people letting the situation get to them. You know, not allowing themselves to get involved, not allowing themselves to not worry what people might think of what they say. So if you can throw some comments, throw some questions, you know, answer that question. Love to get those. Throw them my way. Like, subscribe, do all the usual things. Let's keep passing on the message that we can get through this situation with plenty of activity, plenty of encouragement, and plenty of support. lots of people thrive off that, so keep giving it out. Do you know, so easy to receive it. Do you know, people can be a little bit guilty of that a lot, but keep giving it out as well. So let's end on a positive. Let's give it a real go. Do you know, if you've not done that Wednesday workout yet, get out there, get the lights on, get the ivories on. Do you know, stay safe, stay active, stay positive. Till tomorrow, guys. Just doing it.